Today at Kitchen Bravo, we are making homemade fresh corn tortillas. These are amazing. They're so tender yet chewy. They're just super fragrant, fresh corn tortillas, just like you can get from the nearest, most authentic Mexican restaurant made right here in your kitchen. Kitchen Bravo is going to show you how, guys. So stick around, stick with me, let's get started. These are going to be yours in less than 10 minutes. It all starts with 1.5 cups of masa, and masa is like super finely ground cornmeal, and I usually like to use this too whenever I'm baking breads. I'll go ahead and like just kind of sprinkle it on the peel. I'll sprinkle it on the bread pan in the Dutch oven, whatever vessel I'm using to bake the breads in. So it's not just for making tortillas. You can do a lot of things with masa. So 1.5 cups of masa, I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons of sea salt in here, just like that. Mix it up a little bit. Perfect. Okay. From here, I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of lard. And if you don't have lard, it's no big deal. You can use, like vegetable oil. You can even use butter, but just remember that we have to grill these guys, and butter tends to burn rather easily. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of lard right here into the masa and salt. Perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of like we're making pie dough. I'm going to just pinch it together until it gets to be like little beads, about pea-sized granules of masa and lard and salt. Okay, that looks pretty well mixed to me. So now I'm going to add 1 cup of hot water. And masa is very, very absorbent. It's kind of like coconut flour. It's super absorbent. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the water in until it comes together. But I didn't pour in the whole cup just yet. I just want to start it, getting it incorporated and mixed up. So it's still a little bit dry. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the water. Perfect. And I'm just going to mix it all together until we get a nice solid dough. Okay, so the dough has all come together now in this beautiful corn ball, just like this. And now what I want to do is divide it equally into sections, because I kind of want the tortillas to be as pretty equal as possible, as pretty even. So I'm going to just kind of mold it here in a nice round. Perfect. Just like this. And I'm just cupping my hands and rotating a little bit, just like that. All right, now let me get a knife. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half like this. Cut it in half again. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I get, the number that I want, the number of wedges. So I'm thinking this will give me 6. Okay, so from here, you can see that this is kind of a thick stack of masa, and these are going to give me some pretty big doggone tortillas. But what I can also do is to make it go further and to get like the little street-sized tacos, just cut it in half like this. And that's going to give me double. So that's no problem. That's going to make them go even further. That's going to make my masa stretch. So these tortillas are super easy to make. And once you realize how fast and how simple it is and how tasty they are, then you're really not going to want to go back to getting store-bought tortillas. I mean, especially since you buy masa that's relatively inexpensive in the first place. And you can use it for so many other things as well. Okay. And if you want to get fancy with your tortillas, you can also zest a little bit of lime into the masa mix before you put the water in to incorporate it all together. So that's just another little flavor bite for you. Okay, so I'm going to take one of the wedges, just like this, and I'm going to go ahead and roll it up into a ball. And I'm going to get my tortilla press. And this guy is magic. I love the tortilla press. So what I'm going to do is just open it up, just like this. And I have a Ziploc bag, and I cut the zipper top off of the Ziploc bag, and I just cut the sides open too. So this is going to make it easy to press, and it's not going to stick to my tortilla press. So I take the ball, put it right here in the middle, fold the bag over just like that, smash it shut, and then push the lever. Bingo. There it is. So one side might be a little bit flatter than the other. All you have to do is just turn it over. And there it is, a perfectly flattened, fresh corn tortilla. Let's see if I can peel this guy off. Sometimes it might be a little bit sticky. It might be a little bit tricky. but just be very careful in peeling them off, and there you go. Look at that, a gorgeous, fresh, pressed corn tortilla. Okay, so let me do a couple more of these and then we're gonna get them in the pan. And if there's any leftover residue, it just scrapes right off, no big deal. All right. So I've got 2 tortillas right here and I'm gonna come around and put them in a hot nonstick pan. You don't need any oil because remember it's got lard in the tortilla itself. So there we go, so we're gonna let these guys cook for just a few seconds on each side, maybe about 30 seconds, and then we're gonna flip. And they're gonna be super lovely, golden brown with a slight little crisp on them. They're gonna be perfect. Okay, so it's been about 30 seconds since we put our tortillas in, and you can see how it's kind of like lifting up on the edges here. It looks like it's drying out a little bit, and that's perfect, that's what we want. Another good indicator too is that whenever you go to swirl the pan and the tortillas kind of lift on their own, that's a really good sign that the sear is pretty much close to complete on the other side. So we simply go ahead and flip it over. Nice. And all of these little cracks and these tiny little light brown spots, that's exactly what we're looking for. So we're using white masa, white cornmeal. So you're not gonna get like the hard yellow color that you would sometimes find, in commercially produced tortillas and things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish pressing and grilling, and we will show you a completed stack of fresh, homemade corn tortillas, the Kitchen Bravo way. These are amazing. You're gonna have to see. So the last of the tortillas is coming out of the pan right now, and look at this. You see all the little golden brown pockets? That's perfect, that's absolutely beautiful. And if you want these guys a little bit more well done, then of course you can cook them a little bit longer, but remember, the longer you cook them for, the tougher that they'll be. We want these guys to be super flexible and pliable. So I've got here a beautiful plate of homemade fresh corn tortillas. I mean, look at those. Aren't they gorgeous? I mean, this is homemade. This is done in less than 10 minutes. I mean, even with the mixing and the pressing and the cooking, it's super simple, super easy. So now there's no excuse for you not to have taco night any night of the week. So here you go, some fresh corn tortillas from Kitchen Bravo. It's super easy. 1.5 cups of masa, 2 teaspoons of salt, a cup of hot water. That's about it, really. Oh, and the 2 tablespoons of lard. Can't forget the lard. That's what gives it its lovely chewy texture and flavor. Oh my gosh. Okay, roll them out, press them, fry them, make it your own. A little bit of lemon zest into the masa mixture will really elevate your tacos. So here you go, Kitchen Bravo corn tortillas. Subscribe now. We have so many more amazing recipes for you to try. They're just going to absolutely delight you.